Good day and good afternoon, all at the same time. Back to the St. Domingo trial, what happened this morning. I'm giving you an update of what transpired in the morning session up until lunchtime. The chickens are coming home to roost. It is all unfolding. And Baloyi and Gininda are on a collision course. Let me tell you how the collision, how they are colliding. This is a head-on collision between Baloyi and Gininda. You see, Gininda disclosed that Kelly Khumalo is the mastermind behind the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. That is the evidence of the lead prosecutor in the matter. But Baloyi does not want to hear anything about that. You see, you wonder how they strategized and planned on this prosecution. Because this morning, Advocate Mnisi was really teaching a law, was really giving a law lecture to Gininda. And all Gininda could be heard saying was, "Yes, I follow, my Lord, I follow, my Lord, I follow." All the Gininda tricks that you have seen in the past of him making long explanations were nowhere to be seen. But let us get to the proceedings proper. Advocate Mnisi is looking into the issue of how the decision to prosecute the 5 accused persons before the Pretoria High Court was undertaken. And being the basis, that is the basis on which, the basis of the memorandum that Gininda presented to the prosecution was based on the investigations he says he had undertaken. Now, the crucial thing is whether, have you made those investigations that left out, a decision was taken to leave Kelly Khumalo out of it, in spite of the good work, and this was done by Advocate Mnisi mockingly to Gininda. After the sterling work that you had done, Brigadier Gininda, in spite of that, you were told, or a decision was made, that Kelly Khumalo would not be prosecuted. We saw Baloyi this morning rise up on a number of occasions. Like I am saying, Baloyi does not want to hear anything about Kelly Khumalo. The first objection that Baloyi raised was that, the issue around Kelly Khumalo is a collateral issue. I've never had anything as nonsensical as that in my many years of practice as a criminal defense lawyer. He says it is a collateral issue and it is irrelevant to these proceedings. How can that be? How can that possibly be? Because Kelly Khumalo, by Gininda's own admission, is the mastermind behind the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. She is central to the whole thing. She planned it and even ended up paying people money according to the prosecution case. How can then the issue of Kelly Khumalo be said to be an irrelevant side issue that should just be overlooked as unimportant? There is something that Baloyi wants to run away from here. So when it came to, he kept on saying, Baloyi kept on objecting to say that issue should not be canvassed because, like I'm saying, he says it's a collateral issue. But Mnisi would have none of that. Mnisi just kept on going and going and going because Mnisi kept on saying, what is wrong with what I'm doing? There is nothing wrong with what I'm doing. Because you see, this prosecution is fraught with serious problems. Because you see, on the one hand, you have Baloyi, who wants to hear nothing about Kelly Khumalo being mentioned. Rightly so, because the issue, if at all, according to Gininda, right, Kelly Khumalo was the mastermind. Then the real crucial issue becomes, why leave out the mastermind and just charge the foot soldiers? How could the NPA have made such an irrational decision, basing ourselves on the evidence that had been presented to it by Gininda? You see, the NPA was not investigating this matter. This matter was being investigated by Gininda and company. And once Gininda had concluded that investigation, he came to the conclusion that Kelly Khumalo was the mastermind behind the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. So we have seen all this back and forth. At some stage, Baloyi, in one of his objections, he was saying that, Gininda does not participate in the decision-making processes. And the judge also stepped in to get it from Gininda, to say and ask Gininda, do you have any role to play in the decision-making processes once you have handed that docket to the NPA? Do you play any role in the decision-making processes as to whether and how these people must be charged? Gininda, said, yes, I do participate. And, I do participate. The bottom line of it was that, they just sort of got an answer that he did not expect. Because Gininda was actually saying, I participate, although not in full detail, but I do participate. I get to be told, I know what is going on there. Because you see, had Gininda said, I don't have any role to play in the decision-making of how these people got charged, then it would have amounted to, a situation where it then becomes unfair to be asking Gininda about things which he has no role to play in. So Gininda has opened up a Pandora's box. Gininda says, yes, he participates. And the judge just left it at that. So we are now seeing, a situation where this afternoon, what is going to happen is, and you are all going to see it unfold. What is going to happen is Advocate Mnisi is going to take Gininda right back to that decision again. Right? And that decision, you see, I have always said, if that is the decision that the NPA made based on the memorandum that he submitted, that Gininda submitted to the NPA, it means that memorandum is riddled with, right, the basis upon which the NPA decided to prosecute is riddled with Gininda's, among other things, hearsay evidence. You remember the Zungus and how that information which was supposed to have been overheard came to court. Although that triple hearsay. So it was on the basis of that triple hearsay that the NPA decided to indict the 5 people in the Pretoria High Court that we see now. Now, interestingly, it would also appear that from Gininda's own evidence, right, the NPA then decides that, okay, in spite of the fact that we have this mastermind here with us, we are not going to prosecute this mastermind. So I don't want to anticipate what is going to happen this afternoon. Later on this evening, I am bringing you the proceedings, an analysis of the proceedings in the afternoon, to say, where does it go from here? And Advocate Mnisi is at his vintage best. And Gininda this morning was just finished. Even the interjections from the judge this time around were few and far apart. But Gininda is where he is now. He is answering questions, straight answers. He's not giving those long-winded, historical analysis that nobody wants. He is giving straight answers, and he just keeps on saying, I am following, I am following, I am following. So let us see how Gininda keeps on saying, I am following, and where Mnisi takes him. This afternoon, this evening, I'll be bringing you an update of what happened, because we have reached a stage, a very interesting stage in the trial. This is what I've always been looking for, the cross-examination of Gininda. And it is here. We have it now. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let us look forward to the afternoon session. Please like and share these videos and have a nice day.